call.
Ockley?
Here.
Yep.
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Ruderbush?
Here.
Kyle?
Here.
Teach?
Here.
Zobrist?
Here.
Sorrell?
Here. Looks like we have a quorum. And what about those meeting minutes from the last time? Does anybody have any comments or corrections to the meeting minutes to the last meeting? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve those.
A motion.
Second it. We have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so tonight we have a few public hearings, and as we typically do, we have our council give us a little bit of a education on public hearings and how those work.
Thank you. Public hearings are being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person may present testimony before the Planning Commission tonight. Testimony should be limited to relevant factors set forth in the Village Code. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the Planning Commission will make its recommendation. The Planning Commission makes recommendations only. The Village Board is responsible for taking final action on these matters.
Okay, so the first one is petition number 2402ZA. A zoning amendment petition has been filed by the Village of Morton. The Village of Morton is proposing the following zoning change. The address of 109 West Chicago Street, proposed zoning change from B2 to R1. Does the village have anything they'd like to say about that? Zach?
Zach, before you do, because you're talking on behalf of the petitioner, I forgot to mention in my introduction, those providing testimony will give that testimony under oath or affirmation, so I'd ask our court reporter to swear you in before you speak to the case.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about this is the truth?
So what's really driving this rezoning of that lot, it's been B2 for a while here. We've struggled to find a business or usage that can satisfy the parking requirements for that area. And so really with the support of the property owner, they're proposed changes to R1 and they can move on with selling the parcel and just making it a normal residence.
Okay. Is the property owner here tonight? No? Okay. I suppose if they had a real issue with that, they would be here. Yeah, okay. Any discussion? If not, I'd... Oh, does anybody from the public want to speak to this this petition? Hearing none, and with no further discussion, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Roll call?
Yep.
Yes.
Ruderbush? Yes. Kyle?
Yes.
Sorrell?
Yes.
Teach?
Yes.
Zobrist?
Yes.
Ockley?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is petition number 24-03ZA. A zoning amendment petition has been filed by the Village of Morton. The Village of Morton is proposing the following zoning change. The address is simply Getz Avenue, and proposing it be changed from I2/B3 to all B3. Any comments from any presentation from the village on that one?
Might be sworn in again.
Nope, you're still under oath from your prior testimony.
It's a very unique lot. If you kind of look at the zoning map, the top portion of it is all B3, everything below it is I2. So this is just an effort to clean up that lot, so then we can use that parcel, just move forward, make it easier basically to be occupied.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak to this petition? Hearing none, any Questions or comments from the board? Any discussion? Any motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Guile?
Yes.
Cirilli?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Ritterbusch?
Yes.
Hockley?
Yes.
Teach?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. And finally, petition number 24-04 SP. Subject property is located at Birchwood, West Birchwood and Getz Avenue. Petition has been filed requesting a special use to permit fuel cells, outdoor storage / sales, drive-through restaurant, and RV parking. Is there anyone from the petitioner who would like to address the board this evening? Yes. So please be sworn in. And please give your name and address.
My name is Steve Walters, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm the real estate project manager for Love's Travel Centers for this project in Morton. I'm here tonight to answer any questions that you guys may have about our request.
When do you start construction?
Assuming we get our permits that are needed and working with the city on everything and the other agencies, we'd like to start, be ready to start by the end of the year.
Okay.
You know, there's some determining factors that we just have to go through DOT and those kind of things, but we don't make a penny until we start selling fuel, so we like to hit the ground running and keep things moving. So.
Any other questions from the board?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, truck stop, gas. The outdoor sales and storage, what are you envisioning for that?
It would just be general stuff that you would see and be seasonal. Sometimes in front of our stores, you know, we have de-icer in the bottle for people to pour in their cars. Other times it may be, probably not at this location, but at locations near campgrounds, it may be small stacks of firewood. In the summer, you know, instead of having the de-icer in the jugs, it might be a windshield bug cleaner. We don't have ice machines in front of our stores. Those are inside our store for the most part. DEF, that's something that we set in front of our stores sometimes, you know, in the box. We do sell DEF at the pump on the diesel truck side, but then also the four-wheelers that need DEF, we set that in the front of the stand sometimes. But it's nothing that you couldn't find inside the store would be outside the store.
And then the proposed restaurant, do you have secured a tenant for that, or?
We're working on securing a tenant, and I'll say this, but I also wanted to go on the record as saying that it has not been confirmed yet. We're working with McDonald's, and then we're working with a couple others as well. I don't know which one we're going to end up with. That's a decision above my pay grade. If it is a McDonald's, it will be a franchisee. If it's anything else other than McDonald's, we'll be the franchisee for that location. We're the franchisee for many different concepts. So that, like I said, that was above my pay grade, but it will have a drive-through. It will be some sort of fast food. With the market like it is here, with the industrial workers and the employee force, I've suggested to the decision makers that it needs to be a concept that serves breakfast. And that way there's a breakfast option and a dinner option and lunch option, obviously. Some concepts we have, like RVs, don't typically have a breakfast, so that one's kind of a tough one to do, in my opinion, in a market like this, just simply because it doesn't really benefit the shift work and stuff that's there. But I know that's kind of on the fence answer to your question, but that's the best answer I can give you right now. So.
You're good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. And oddly enough, I don't think I've ever gone through one of those meetings without that question. So I thought we were going to slide by there for a minute.
So do you envision a some kind of a sign, a pedestal sign in your location?
Yes, sir. What we'll do is, and I believe it's scheduled at the end of this month, we have a sign company that will come out, and this is good for you guys to know in case someone calls you and asks you what's going on. There'll be a 40 square foot blimp up in the air, and it's the sign company runs that blimp up in the air and to see how tall it is. They drive up and down the interstate and they take pictures and they say, all right, from this distance you can see the sign, so this is how tall your sign needs to be. And that obviously we have to fit inside the code that the city gives us. At this location, I don't anticipate us needing any kind of variance at all. We kind of checked into the sign code and knowing how flat it is out there, I think we're going to be okay. So to answer your question, I think you guys have a big plan in front of you, but the sign, this is what this pad out, this gray area out here, kind of on the lower right side of the plan. That is a pad area for our pylon sign, and I can't remember what the code is here, but that would be whatever, like I said, code allows. I don't think we're going to even ask for a variance. And then there will be some kind of signage up here on Birchwood, if it's allowed by the city as well. That's going to be a smaller scale sign.
Where's that gonna be up here?
I'm sorry, sir?
Where's the sign? Oh, up here?
Well, no, this is the, that is currently, I think, a communications building right there. It would be somewhere up in here that would be out of the easement and all that stuff. Let's see, open storage. It's not shown here yet because we don't have the final sign package done yet. And then the other sign would be down, the other area would be down in here.
Yeah, we got that.
Yep. And again, we know we have to meet all the setbacks and everything that the city requires from us. And, we try to, whenever we develop, we're obviously a nationwide company and we're large, and I'm proud to say that. I don't say that being boastful, but this is our 60th year, coming up on our 60th year being in business. And we try to go into a community and have a good relationship with them. And we met with the city early on before we ever started getting very far down the road on this project. And we do that because I have my engineer give us a general layout. We go to the city and we meet with the code guys, the utility guys, whoever else wants to come to that meeting. And we say, this is what we would like to build. Tell us what our hurdles are. And that way we get all that out in the front. So we know what we're getting into here and we don't anticipate any problems. So whatever, like I said, we've looked at the sign code and I apologize, I can't remember specifically for this site, but whenever we saw it, it didn't give me any hard feelings.
Okay.
I know that there were a few questions from somebody about no alcohol sales being an issue. That's not an issue for us. If we do sell beer, it's okay. If not, don't care. And then there were some questions from someone had sent me some questions about this parking up here at the very top, out by Birchwood, those angled parks. And what those are, that's where an RV can park in there. It's not long-term parking. Obviously, Love's is not a great destination to go vacation. But my mom and dad are retired, and they use Love's when they're going from like point A to point B. They need to stop and fuel, grab a snack, they stay there overnight, and they're out the next morning. And that's what those are designed for. They're called RV parks, and sometimes that gets people antennas up, and they're like, we don't want long-term parking. And believe me, we're building a $15 million facility. We don't want it to be long-term parking and turn into something gross as well. So we monitor that pretty good. Just to give you guys an idea, if you want to understand the plan better, obviously this is our building here. On the end, down I'll call it the right side. That's where the restaurant will be with the drive-through. These stalls out here where the four-wheelers will get their gas. We specifically separate the gas from the diesel business. There's no way that these traffic should intermingle going through our parking lots. We do that on purpose. We do that for safety, first and foremost, because obviously we have a bunch of visitors, and God forbid a young one get away from a parent and a diesel truck's coming through the parking lot and something bad happened. And the other reason we do it is operationally it helps from a safety factor where I understand that from years past, there's negative connotations that go along with the word truck stop. I get that. Love's does a very good job of trying to keep any of the negative stuff away from our stores. And that's another reason why we do separate that traffic, is because, we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And operationally, if we're back here, emptying trash cans, that sort of thing, and we see a car back there, we know there's not supposed to be any cars back there. So, that kind of gets our antennas up a little bit, and we start checking into things, see what's going on. So it's just a lot easier to monitor that way. The diesel trucks will come down Erie Avenue. They'll turn in down here at the far south end. They'll loop around, and they'll come in here and do their fill, and they'll fill up with their diesel. This line right here in front of the diesel bay is what we call our pull forward line. So the diesel truck's supposed to fill up and then pull forward, and there's enough distance in there for the next diesel truck to pull in and start their fill. So that's what some of that stuff means on this layout. They'll loop around and then come back out the same way they came in, or they'll come in and park out there. Any other questions or concerns?
So are there any questions from the public for our petitioner this evening? Hearing none. Thank you very much. So, discussion amongst us. Is there anything that we need to talk about?
And this initially is not a site plan review, correct? I imagine some of these things will be brought up during site plan review, but just looking at the southerly entrance where the trucks are, I know there's a neighborly drive there that off this plan looks like that'll have to get reworked, so I'm assuming the village is gonna kind of look into that as well and coordinate any type of things that need to happen on that end.
That's a good point, Nate. Tonight we are just talking about a zoning change.
Right. Yep.
Special use, and we are not approving a site plan. We typically don't ever do that.
Right.
On the plan commission. So it's interesting, but it's not something, we're not approving the plan. Or the restaurant. Mr. McGrath, on the signage, on the pylon sign, we have an ordinance where we recently raised the minimum height for pylon signs, and I suppose they'll have to stay under that. Is that pylon sign, does it have to be within a certain distance of the interstate?
We have some sign-specific regulations for the interstate corridor, so for those lots within a certain tolerance of the interstate, without being in your code, which I can do, I don't recall the answer.
Okay. I was just thinking 155 is the same as 74, in other words, for interstate corridor, correct?
Yes.
Sir, if I may, I do know what you're speaking of there, because that came up in our first meeting with the city. And so they did tell us that there is some sort of special setback that we have to adhere to. And again, I don't remember what that is, but yes, there is a setback, and we're aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to have an issue.
Any other discussion?
Make a motion to approve.
The second?
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Ockley? Yes.
Knapp?
Yes.
Morton?
Yes.
Ritterbusch?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Teach?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
And Cirilli?
Yes.
The motion passes. And this ends our public hearing. Next item on the agenda is other business. Zach, do you have any other business to talk about tonight? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.